Stream Elements said the busy builder is now live, streaming miniatures.
Hello. That got bumped. There. There. Well, time to get started. Hi, Frank. Jeep decals. There's our stock pilot. I really don't like how that looks. He's drunk too much. And ew, we are blue. Dabu dee dabu die. There we go. I'm guessing model students at that model show that he was talking about. Said there was one this weekend, I think. There we go. Typical Tamiya P51. Definitely a shake and bake kit. Alright, let's get started. Oh, and we gotta open the Geep. There's the windshield and headlight lenses for the Jeep. Come here, Frank. You good kitty boy. Up. Come on, Frankie. This looks like it'll be a fun little model on its own. There's the Jeep instructions and the auxiliary figures for the 51. I'll probably wind up using him. Alright. We're going to get the first few bits of the interior together. We're going to be using a lot of flat aluminum and interior green here. So, black, green with pads, green, black. Seeing if anything gets glued to the walls or if we just have to paint stuff. Looks like we just have to paint stuff. Okay. So let's get our bits and pieces. Alrighty. Just checking something. Something feels very odd right now. Yeah, everything's working. Come on, buddy. Actually, this over here. Interior green. Instructions there. That works better if they stay up. Okay. Stay. Get the fuselage off here too. There's quite a few little more pieces than I thought going on here. But definitely a very straightforward kit to assemble. stay. There's that. It's not very clear on where exactly the radiator goes. Does it go like that? I'm thinking yes. Yeah. And be sure, you see there's beveled legs on the radiator. The front side kind of has the forward-facing lower feet, I guess you could call them. So, turns out, the instructions just show it going like that. If you look further, you'll see that it goes right against this bulkhead here. There's a raised middle portion. It straddles that. What is going on here? That's a lot of ugly in there, but you won't see it because this will be in the way. At least I think you won't see it unless you're... Well, you'll see it from the back. So we might have to spend a little time cleaning up in here. Trying to decide if that's an ejector pin or a detail. I'm gonna go with a pin. Hey, Frank. Oh, you brought a poof. Okay. Sorry, it's time to play fetch. Frankie. Doot. Got a little aggressive there. Knock that down. That should be fine for what we should be able to see through the hole. Give me a sec, Frank. I've got to... I can only do one thing at a time here, buddy. Okay, where'd you put it? There it is. Whee! I hear you. Give me one sec. Yeah. You love playing fetch, don't you, buddy? Go get it. Good boy. Here you go. Tweet. Okay, that's weird. Give me 1 second, everybody.
The busy builder said hiya.
Okay, so that works. Give me one moment, bud. Okay, where is it? Are you sitting on it? You were sitting on it. Okay, go. What? No, don't knock the trash can over. Alright, come on. We're gonna have to stop doing this after a bit. Frankie, go get it. Good boy. Okay. Let's start with the interior green. Clean up the fuselage halves too. Interesting. What? Go get it. Yeah, it is a bit quiet, isn't it? Not too many people talking. That's fine. That is their prerogative. We're quiet today. Tomorrow might be a bit better in terms of participation. I'll probably hand paint that edge, to be honest. I need a clothespin. Need a couple clothespins.
was amazingly good IMA show.
No, not in a very movie mindset right now. There was nothing really that hooked me on it to make me want to go see it in the theater. Though I do support Ryan Gosling in what he said in an interview about how it is not up to us to fix theater attendance as far as the audience, but it is up to the companies to make things that people want to go see. And I heartily agree with that. And part of what killed it is streaming. Why should we pay to go see something in theaters when it's coming out like in 3 months streaming? And I talked about this before on the channel too. Back in the day, VHS, DVD just coming out, let's say 1999. They were both out, both happening. Movie would be in the theater, right? How long was it till the accompanying DVD or VHS came out? It was a year. But it made you want that film or that show or whatever it was. It made you want to go see it. It made you want to watch it. Now, you wait 3 months and it's out. So why should I spend my hard-earned money on $50 to $75 in a theater for this stuff? You know? I'm sure it's a good film, but it's got to be something really spectacular for me to go see it in a theater. Hey Davos, how you doing?
O9G Davos said watching on here instead of YT today.
That's fine. Is something going on with YouTube on your end, or you just feel like being a bit different?
6 months before on TV, 9 months before rental, 12 months before purchase.
No, even before TV, it was usually a year to 3 years because they didn't want the TV broadcast cutting into sales of the film. Because if it's on TV, you could record it.
O9G Davos said just logged in.
Ah, gotcha. Alright. Now, it's been a long time since I've made a P51, so I need to look up the interior. Because I don't think Tamiya's instructions are exactly what I want.
O9G Davos said yeah used to be like years before films came on TV, except for maybe Christmas time.
Even then,
O9G Davos said nice cockpit color for P51.
Hi Frank.
Almanoff said sorry, I meant after end of theatrical run.
Yeah. So that's just... This brand gives me such mixed signals. It's Mission Models green zinc chromate, but it does match the interior green that you would find in a 51. Okay, so that is green, but all the knobs and switches are black. Okay, just figuring out how best to paint it. And I'm looking for the most unrestored examples. Or most correctly restored examples, to be fair. Because there's so many differences depending on who restored it, when restored, when owned. Okay. So I need my... Hey, Frank. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? What? You are being a menace today, you know that? Between your fetch and your desk intrusions. Yeah. Can I work on my model, or are you just going to stand there hogging the frame? I'm sure the audience loves it. Good boy. Come on, over here. Hey, Frank. Come on.
09G Davos said, "Ah, what a fluffy P51."
Yeah. I think he just senses all the crap I've been dealing with my jaws and teeth. So, yeah. You're a good boy. Over here. Come on.
Davos said cats do pick up on stuff like that.
Yep, and he's a good cat. But I did take some ibuprofen before stream, so hopefully my knees won't be too much of a problem today. They were really killing me last night. I'm just waiting for someone to come in. You should really pick up the CMK cockpit set for that. It would make it so much better. I don't care. So before I go doing all the black panels on the inside of the airframe...
09G Davos said, "I founded the TSR-2, the aftermarket good for the rest of the plane."
No, streaming didn't eliminate piracy. If anything, it drove it even more. Why should I pay $20 a month to stream something off of Netflix that's not going to be there permanently when I can download it and have it on my hard drive as long as that lasts?
09G Davos said I'ma need to do a lot more work over the whole aircraft to make the rest of the plane look like slop.
Hey, you. Okay, where's my dark green wash? Where did I put you? Is that you?
09G
That's dark
Davos
yellow.
said yep, always find copies of films, TV shows off the floor as it were.
Because, especially with streaming when it began, yeah, it put a dent in piracy. I'm not going to deny that. Streaming now is such a mess because of all the disparate companies having their own channels that you can't find what you're looking for. I have to search films multiple times on each service.
Content got segmented into individual
Mm-hmm.
services that were each too complicated, non-transparent and expensive, and now piracy is increasing again.
Because streaming has reverted to basic cable. Because it used to be you had to pay for Cinemax, you had to pay for HBO, you had to pay a price for each premium service that you got. That got a little too dark. We're going to fix that, though. Whereas before it was, okay, you had Netflix, you had Hulu, and you had Amazon for the longest time. Each element had their free side, but the only difference between them was one option. The free side had commercials, the pay side didn't. Now, the pay side has commercials, but you have to pay more for the next upgrade to get fewer commercials, or pay even more after that to get no commercials. What is the benefit of streaming now? There isn't one. That would be like me going onto YouTube once I get enough followers and making my entire channel members only. That would be me forcing you to have to pay to watch my streams. How does that help me? Do I appreciate subscribers? Hell yeah. Right now, the only place you can subscribe is Twitch. YouTube, that hasn't turned on yet. But I'm not going to force you guys to do that. I'm not going to sit there and go, okay, on Twitch, I'm turning chat into sub only. So you can watch the video, but if you want to talk, you got to sub. That helps nothing. In fact, it would probably force most people away. Unless I do a special day where I try another giveaway, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen again with how stupidly the last ones wound up. Okay, what was I looking at here? But then, yeah, I would do a subscriber-only chat there, because in order to enter the giveaway, you got to subscribe. I'm not just going to give away something to somebody who's not adding into the channel, as it were. So I'm just looking to see if there's a lot of differences in like seat pad colors or not. Not really. Okay. And the black back out. But essentially, what, buddy? Huh? The streaming services are locking themselves away, and they're losing customers. It's happening slowly, but
Had Almanac said worse, it would be forcing viewers to become members to numbered episode on YouTube, and subscribe on Twitch to watch ever odd numbered episode there.
There's that too, but I was trying to keep it a bit simpler. But yeah, it would be a lot like that. And like half the movies you want to watch aren't even on there. Like, I remember back in the day, if I wanted to watch, say, The Hunt for Red October, I would have to search the movie for months before the algorithm picked up that somebody was looking for it and finally decided to put it on their streaming side. I could buy it, or like Amazon, I could pay to rent it. That's why digital media is starting to come back as well. Just people are tired of it. Hi. Are you just going to sit there and be a good boy?
At Almanac said, thankfully I never gave up on physical media.
Neither did I just can't afford much of it. Not right now anyway. I'll get back into doing that. But I got better fish to fry right now. You know? What, buddy?
At Almanac said, just gonna sit here and remind you that I'm in charge. Haha.
Yeah, he's alright. Oh, somebody else just came down. Who's down there? Hi, Mittens. I don't think I'm gonna really do too much to the seat, since I'll be putting the pilot in it. And I'm gonna have a dig through. I've got the old Monogram P61 kit that has some ground crew. I might be able to kind of put them on the base. I'll figure that out. Hi. You be nice to Mittens. I know you're younger,
At Almanac
but he's got more claws.
cameo, flushed face emoji.
There's a reason we call him the Shredder. Oh, don't go hunting him. He'll kick your ass. Oh, no, he's right here. Hi, Mitty. Hey, little bud. Maybe he might jump up on the chair. Hi. Mittens up. Come on. Up, up. But it's been a good while since I've done a real world aircraft of any kind. There we go, Mittens cameo on the back of the chair. And my hand-eye coordination is shite today. Yeah, so we gotta wait for that to dry. While that does, we're gonna skip over. We're gonna work on a Jeep. Mitty, hey. Hi. Yeah. He's my little polydactyl pal. Oh, God. Mittens, your fur tickles. He's shedding like crazy. He's always shedding. At least they kept this simplified, though. They could have really gone off the deep end with this.
My almanac said, by the way, 7 days until I go to Japan for 2 months, but who's counting? Face with tears of joy emoji.
You have fun with that. I wish I could. Yeah, today's going to be kind of a slow, quiet stream. Might work on the Bradley tomorrow. Alright. A4. A5. Yeah, the forecast here, though, has us going from 70s, almost 80s today, to snow by Thursday. We'll see about that. This year's been so junk when it comes to the weather. What's going on, Mitty? What are you doing? There we go. The undergating, it's made so... Is the kit snapped together? Because typically you'll find undergating on snap together pieces for like Gundam, things like that. It's so that you can clean it off without leaving a white or discolored mark on the outside face. And that's a loaded question. I mean, you can clean it up normally like you see me doing here. Just essentially make sure it's good and flat and even when you've done it, or else you'll wind up having a gap or a seam when you put the parts together. Other people say, oh, there's this trick to it, that trick to it. There really is no 100% trick to it. I'm surprised that a Hasegawa kit has that, though. It took forever for Kotobukiya to start doing it, because it was generally a technique patented by Bandai. Or is considered that, anyway. What are you doing, cat? Hmm? Oh, that's Frank. When did Mittens get down?
Said so the trick is patience and work.
Just like every other model kit, yep. Like, I made this too dark. But because of the nature of the paint I used, I can't really swizzle it around. So I just gotta let it dry, we'll go back and we'll fix it. I messed it up, so gotta wait for it to dry, then fix it. No point in trying to fix it when it's still wet. One kit I wish I could find. It was a resin kit made back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But I think it was was it the Shinden or the Raiden armor from Gasaraki in 24 scale. I know Bandai does 35th scale kits. They're just too small. But I know there was a resin kit produced for a little while. There we go. Yeah, I think the kit was a Wonderfest Japan exclusive, so chances of finding one are slim to none.
Almanacs asks made by Kotobukiya?
Maybe? Did they do a 24 scale one? No, Bandai made the original ones. I think these Kotobukiya ones are newer, and they're not. They're still an odd scale, like 1/60th or something like that. They're kind of more pre-made item than they are. Yeah, they're more a pre-made item than they are a kit. Sorry, I know I'm kind of stopping stream here, but it's one of those kind of slow days. Yeah, the one I had seen briefly years and years ago was 24 scale and resin. Let's get the main tub built and then we'll pop back over to the plane. I know the Bandai kits are 35th scale. They still feel undersized for what they are. And I know a lot of people they don't like the series. I kind of do, because it works on like a kind of a Patlabor level where the mecha exist, but they aren't the story. You know, not like Gundam is. It's more of a techno thriller than it is a straight up, you know, rock'em sock'em robots kind of thing. There goes the knee. Great.
the biggest problem with this hobby is that it makes hoarders of us all. If we find a nice kit, we have to buy it, because we don't know if we can find it again.
Oh, there's been times that I've not bought that nice kit. I haven't regretted it, but at the same time, you know, feeding the family is a bit more important. But at the same time, I still keep an eye out for it. And that's how I wound up getting the Cygnus and some other kits. So it all works out in the end if you want it to.
At Almanac asks, by the way, how did the alien and Newt figurine end up?
You mean Ripley and Newt? It's not done yet. I haven't been doing any figure work at all in the past couple weeks. Mainly just working on that 432, trying to get it out of the way. I've got a crew ordered, the British AFV crew, that will get me enough figures for that and the Chieftain when it gets here. If the uniforms are a little too new looking, I can just remove what's making them anachronistic and I'll make them work. I'm not too worried about that.
At Almanac said, oh yeah, sorry, Ripley and Newt figurine from Aliens.
Yeah, I haven't touched them since the last stream. I was working on another figure alongside them and it kind of messed up, so it kind of took the wind out of my sails for doing figure work for a minute. We'll get back into it. Just using Vallejo liquid mask over cured Vallejo paint, and the mask rolled the paint. So I have to reaccomplish a lot that I really didn't want to have to do. And I'm still trying to figure things out on the channel again. It seems like they changed the algorithm yet again.
At Almanac said, that sucks. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we're not assembling that grill yet. That's as far as we're getting with the Jeep for right now. Okay, where's that green zinc again?
At Almanac said, well, expect things to change if they are not tied up in appeals as a result of that meta.
What's going on? Yeah. This is what it's going to come to. Note to self, only use oil wash with mission models paints in the future.
At Almanac asks, but what are they currently busy ruining?
Well, put it this way. I've got a figure that is literally PG in terms of how she's displayed, right? Fully clothed, no overt sexuality, no weird, ugly pose, nothing like that. If I post it, because it is a figure of a female, where you can clearly define the physical features of the female form, you know, no nudity, but you can clearly see certain attributes, they will flag it as inappropriate. And they will limit its they'll limit the audience that it goes out to. Go through my shorts, I shit you not. The only figures that really get more attention than others are the ones where the algorithm couldn't clearly define whether it was a female form or not. Every other figure that shows a clearly defined female has disgustingly low numbers. Yet, military stuff's fine. You know, I'm getting average 1,000, 1.2k views on that. RC tanks, they're getting 8k views and up sometimes. Even my military figures are getting more views, but a female figure, forget it. They'll actually retard that. They will restrain that. They will keep it from being seen. And they've been caught. I've caught them doing it. There's a figure by Good Smiler, Plumax, right? Anime style, bunny girl, sci-fi, surfboard kind of character, right? Wearing a bikini, no worse than PG-13, which should be perfectly acceptable. As soon as I uploaded it, they tried to strike it for being sexually overt. I'm like, this is a plastic model kit with no nudity. What are you talking about? We're going to remist this. And we're going to have a think about how we're going to proceed here. Okay. Just blowing air to help dry it. Oh, as far as the mental health thing, oh yeah, you better believe it. Look at what they force into people's faces. If you really want a clean example of it, right? The streams I really can't tell because their views are minimal at best. And I really don't paint them on stream because it can get flagged other ways too from the algorithm watching as you're streaming. But you can try going back and seeing if there's any that I painted live and see how their views compare to, say, a tank or other military figures. Why is that so bright? But because of whoever's in charge at YouTube and whatever hair dye they're using and what other considerations they've programmed the AI to look for, they are, I think, falsely and borderline illegally restraining people's videos in favor of their own. And they use the visual content as the mitigating factor. Because they'll slam one channel for having, you know, explicit material, which is just, let's face it, an anime girl of obviously legal age, or even, it doesn't even have to be anime. Just a female form of legal age, legal looking, you know, just buxom. And they will squash down its exposure, yet their AI videos have female characters that look exactly the same in terms of form fitting and features, yet those videos will get pushed by the algorithm. It's most noticeable on shorts because I think the view rate is more consistent on certain subjects than others. So that could be a tell right there. Here, I'll find an example. Let's go here real quick. I'll go to shorts. So I uploaded a video of Felicia, right? The steampunk girl with the twin pistols. 38 views. Yet literally the Nazi stormtrooper that I posted below it, the Unterscharführer, got 1.2 thousand views. That seems kind of inverse to me, considering how World War II German stuff, the subject itself is almost taboo on here because of symbology and what it stands for. Yet a fully dressed female figure in a dynamic pose, well painted, gets less exposure. Make it make sense.
I don't use shorts at all, so I don't know what is up or down in that format.
Yeah. I'm just telling you what I'm experiencing. That's all. But it's hard not to think something's up when you see that kind of crap happen. Alright, I'm going to try this again, but I'm going to tackle it a bit differently. Where did the wash go? I have no organization today.
At Almanac said that is a significant difference.
Right? And you would think they censor people on their videos. Like, if someone were making a video about what's going on today and how other people are calling other people Nazi, the same way you can't say shoot or kill or die, you have to say unalive and stupid shit like that. YouTube censors that shit, or they'll mark you down if you're monetized. They won't let you monetize that video if you use those words. So how is it that a literal World War II German figure that shows that with a gun, smoking a cigarette, gets higher views than a visually pleasing female character. Make it make sense. And I just dripped all over myself. I am not having luck with anything paint-wise today. This is why I'm not painting figures. I've just been... Motor control has been out the window. And don't say, oh, well, it's your hashtags. No, I use almost the same hashtags for all the figures. So it's not the hashtags. Okay, so this time, instead of flooding it, we're going to chase the detail. And of course, focus is not focusing. Yeah, sorry today is so abnormal.
At Almanac said they think it's the ass tags.
The ass tags? I mean the underwear?
At Almanac said attempt at pun on hashtags.
Oh. Is that over already? Yep. No, I just think the AI algorithm is able to spot certain attributes of certain figures, and the ones it's been told to not like by whoever's in charge, it gives less exposure to. Yet my highest viewed short, and it's probably because it can't identify it as a human, is a large-breasted snake girl from Monster Musume. Make that make sense. Yeah, Mia the Lamia is my highest viewed short. That ought to do better. Hi, Frank. I know, Frank. I'm in kind of a cloudy headspace today. We might switch out to something else. As much as I'm trying to get into this kit, I'm not getting into this kit.
Asks, but how is transparent cleaning or naked yoga allowed?
Yeah. Or the videos where the girls are wearing the sheer dresses. And this is shit I don't even search for. I don't look it up. I don't do anything that should tell the algorithm that this is something I want to see. This is something it's forcing. And you've probably seen it on your feeds too. With the girls wearing the see-through dresses in front of a backlight, and you can see their little meat curtain hanging down. How is that something you think people want to see? It's not something I asked for. It's not something I searched for. It's not something I want to see. Yet they think they have to push it into my feed.
At Almanac said of girls will find ways around any censorship.
Yeah, it's just... Ugh. And it doesn't matter how many times you report it. Facebook, I go blocking profiles all the time because I just notice my feed starts to get inundated every few months. But the thing is, every profile you block, another one pops up of the same creator. They just add more letters to the name. There's probably more false profiles for all these adult content creators than there are for anybody else out there. They want to fix the problem, start there. Let's try this now. Like, if somebody doesn't want to see what I'm doing, all they got to do is block me. I'm not going to have 10 other channels suddenly turning around and putting my stuff back in their feed because they blocked the one. Yeah, this paint's shit for this purpose.
At Almanac said there is basically not any video on Facebook that isn't a semi-naked girl selling out.
Right?
So annoyed by it.
You are not wrong in that statement at all. You would think with all the various greens I've mixed up over the years.
Said, wish I could turn off video feed on Facebook.
You kinda can, it's just not straightforward to do. Sorry, I'm looking for one of my many pre-mixed bottles of a lighter zinc chromate green. Because I wanna pop this a little bit, but not exactly. Maybe to me a yellow green just lightly dry brushed over will do just right. Yeah. But on top of this lawsuit that you're saying, talking about, you know, damaging psyches and stuff like that of developing kids and teenagers, they should make that an example. I wish I could go there and say, look, I've blocked this profile, I've blocked that profile. Look how many variations of that same thing are popping up, and how many could still be out there. I'm trying to do the green yellow highlighting before I get into the control panels, because those are black faced panels and I want to hit them up with a little gray. You're really not going to see too much, especially with the pilot in there. At least I don't think you will. We'll find out. But no, you are not wrong though. I really wish there was a way to find a common denominator term that all these individuals use, and just tell your feed to not let it through, you know? But then if you do that, anyone who types the word of, you know, of, into a sentence, you know, immediately wouldn't be able to see it. So it would just remove everybody. So they use a simple thing that could translate as a word. Okay. No, that's the wrong one. Yeah, sorry if today's seems a little haphazard. And I actually kind of called this shit years ago. And what set the alarm bell off for me was when we were getting told, you'll do this through Facebook, you'll do that through Facebook, you'll do this. I'm like,
At Almanax asks that's the 5th time you apologized. Have you heard me complain?
no, it's more for anybody else that might be watching. Sorry. I'm not in a good place lately either. Just trying my best.
At Almanax said you're good, my guy. Not every day is a perfect day.
But, what was I getting at? If it's important, I'll remember it. Oh. Anytime that something like Facebook appears, and the big talking heads suddenly start saying, you'll be able to do all this through it, I don't want to use it. I didn't have a Facebook profile until, I want to say 2013. The only thing I use it for is to post this shit. That's really all I do. And memes. I post this in memes. Outside of that, I do not use it for posting my family stuff. I don't put work stuff on it. I don't do shit on it except inconsequential stuff. And that's the way it should be. And I was never one of the MySpace kids either. MySpace skipped it skipped me. How's that? Not my generation, it skipped me. Because I was already doing adult things with an adult life by the time it came out. I really didn't even have my own computer until, I want to say 2000? 2000? Yeah, 2000. Late 2000, yeah. And that's not me trying to say, look how much of an old fart I am. It's how little I relied on this kind of crap to do anything in my life.
At Almanac said me too. Only got Facebook because I attended
See?
classes that send out lessons via group chat on Messenger.
And even cell phones, you know, we talk about how I quit my last job. It was a lot of things that added up. One of the many things that added up was that it felt like they felt they could contact you at any given time. And any longtime people here would know that, you know, you kind of see my face drop when my phone would ding during a stream during that time. And when I got my new job, I was very straightforward with the manager. I said, here's what's been going on, here's what's going on now, and here's how I'm trying to be, you know? And they totally agreed with me. They didn't have any objections to that thought process, and honestly, it's been a good damn 3 years there so far. And I hope when I move, I'm able to continue with it. Not working directly in front of the camera. While I've got these colors out, let me go get my my Grumman duck. And see what I need to do on that. And I need to take a stretch break anyway. It's been an hour and a half. Come on.
At Almanac said I think we are of a lucky generation that we're almost forced into social media. It was not the norm yet.
Almost nothing. We were forced into social media. There's no almost about it. Okay. I'm going to put up the pause screen and I will be back in a few minutes. Alright, I'm back. So this is the other kit I was talking about, the Duck. It is a World War II float plane, early war, but it was used throughout the entire war. This one's by Classic Airframes. So it's a limited production kit, typically decent plastic, but with some resin, sometimes photo etch added. In this case, it was a lot of resin cockpit stuff, engine. I just had it taped together to make sure everything I was doing in here fit right. So, just to show you where I'm at on this and see where I want to go with it. They don't feel worse. That's not the answer you're looking for, but that's the best one I've got. I think I used Poly S on this one, though. Or was it testers? I forget which. So I'm going to do a test and see. Nope, it was mission models. Great. Fortunately, you won't see that too easily. Yeah, but we'll not be working on that. I think I might have to invest in some decent non-mission models. Interior green here shortly. But I went digging through somebody's box and I found some ground crew that might work with the 51. And I might bump the P61 up. The real question is, it's the monogram kit, which already has its own sea of issues in terms of fit, because the mold is ancient and it's been reissued so many times that the fit is just horrible. So a lot of sanding is required regardless. That being the case, to me it did not give me a dash decal for this, by the way. Well, Mission Models has a weird formula that seems to like to reactivate with water. That's not great for an acrylic paint. But back at what I was saying, if I really wanted to get dumb, I could attempt rescribing the whole kit of the P61, which would then make seam cleanup easier because I'd have scribe panel lines instead of raised. I can get the kit if you'd like to see what I'm talking about. And everyone's like, oh, well, why don't you just get the Hobby Boss kit? I didn't buy this when it was given to me, so I'm not going to waste money on another one. And every now and again, I love a turd polishing session. So if I can polish this turd, why not?
Almanac said that is a lot of scribing.
I've done it before. Just adding little splashes of red where they're supposed to be. That kind of hurt. Ugh.
Said sorry. The delay on YouTube is glacial.
Yeah, YouTube's not the best when it comes to latency, is it? But nobody ever really said they were either. You would think, being the site that started it all, YouTube would be ahead of Twitch and everybody else when it comes to latency issues. I mean, you would think, but, you know, wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up first. Where did my paper towel go? Yeah. Yeah, back on the Gasaraki thing, though, if somebody were to make files for those, like good files, I'd buy them up in a heartbeat. That is a disgusting seam. Why would you do that to yourself, Tamia? I knew I should have looked for the Airfix kit.
Almanax asks, where are you on the natural versus synthetic hair on brushes?
Well, considering natural is getting harder and harder and harder to find, I kind of got to use what I've got. I would prefer sable. Because no matter what you do, no matter how good or bad you are with them, sable don't do that shit. See, I prefer natural because you can always reshape it and train it. Nylon, once it starts to wear out and go weird, forget it. And the other problem is they make nylons now that look like sable, so unless you read the package really, really well, you might be buying sable, or you might be buying nylon thinking you're buying sable. Or even horsehair.
Sniper 43 said, hey all.
Hey Sniper, how you doing? Let's get that seat in.
CSA Sniper 43 said good.
And I am not the nicest to my brushes by any means, but I've had sables last 10 times longer than any generation of nylons that's out there right now. And as others have noted, I'm pretty high output. So I'm going through packs of brushes every year or so. No holes to drill, anything like that. I just gotta get the oil cooler, put that in.
CSA Sniper 43 said just been working on SMELNES.
Whatever that is. Oh, some planes.
43 said some planes.
Yeah, don't know what happened there, but wow. Where did my X-Acto knife go? I wouldn't have a brain today if my head weren't attached. I don't know if anyone's not happy with me finishing up most of the 432 off stream. I just wanted something to work on while I was down for the count the past few days. Oh, our Revell... Where is it? The Revell Ferrari came in, right? But look carefully. What do you see? And this is something that happened back in the early 2000s. Pretty recognizable symbol there, right? And there. Especially for Ferrari. I've already found the decals on eBay. I've just got to order them next payday. I need to order Marlboro decals for that and that. Because new laws at the time this came out prevented them from putting the sponsor logos on the car if they sold alcohol or cigarettes.
Sniper 43 said I've got a 1993 Senna car that's the same way, but the car is from the lap of the gods race.
Well, the car might be from 93. When was the kit made? Nowadays they just leave them out.
Said if they have an issue with that, that's their issue.
Yeah, but now I'm gonna have to spend $20 to get decals from France because I can't find any stateside that are just black and white Marlboro names. I think Tamiya is the only company that said screw it and kept selling stuff with the correct logos on it. But Tamiya also want an arm and a leg and my firstborn for that very same car.
CSA Sniper 43 said Tamiya from 2014.
Yeah. I think by then the law finally caught up to them. I remember buying their 2001, 2002 Ferrari, the F2000, and it still had the correct markings in it. I just want to have it look right and not like a rolling barcode. Okay, I need more clothespins. That's the trouble of trying to stay organized. Every time you organize everything, you have to unorganize it to use it. But I'm also doing my best to line the seam up so that way, worst case scenario, all I got to do is hit it with a little bit of Mr. Surfacer and a really light sanding sponge, and I won't have to use any filler.
M4JOR_H4V0K said 412 was 95 if I recall, and I think the cigarette advertising ban was only in Europe, so some races they had Marlboro and others the barcode.
Yeah, I don't like the barcode. It looks like shit. Because I've seen the barcode and the white spaces on the car.
43 said it's getting hard to find the 1/20th rain tires for a good price.
Well, you can still find them from time to time. Ebro actually includes the rain tires in their kits. I've got their Monaco, their 71 Tyrrell Monaco, and it comes with rain tires. But just the general prices for F1 kits are just astronomically stupid these days. And no, I won't be going high polished aluminum on this. It's just going to be basic flat aluminum. All the pictures of the ones that my grandfather worked on, not a single one was polished. They were all just regular old non-chromed. How's that? They had a shine to them because they were bare metal, but they weren't polished. There's that. Ow, ow, ah. Pop the hip, too? Wow. I am just falling apart these days. And if you can print your own parts, Sniper, I think there's a few different companies out there that sell files for rain tires.
When I last saw a tobacco sponsor logo in professional sports.
Oh, they've been gone forever. Alcohol's following them pretty quick, too. Probably why Ferrari has become so aggressively predatory in the use and display of their car and who can buy it and all that. Because they're losing so much money from lack of sponsorships through like Marlboro and other companies like that. They have to hold on to their brand tighter. That's why there's, even back in like 97, 98, whenever it was that Need for Speed 3 came out, there were no Ferraris in that game. Because Ferrari didn't want their car associated with high-speed chases. And I think even Michael Bay had to fight tooth and nail to allow them, or for them to allow him to use their Ferrari in, I think it was the third Transformers movie? Oh god, fuck that shit. That. Come on, get in there. Why does it feel like the Hasegawa P51, for all of its more parts, was a simpler build than this? It feels like this is... It feels like I'm struggling with this. So they have me gluing this on now. I want to test some things first. I'm not going to glue the tops of the wings on yet. But I want to temporarily put them there, and I want to see the fit. And if I have to wait, or if I can do it all in one shot.
Sniper 43 said the only Hasegawa kits I've messed with was the 172nd Ordnance kits.
Yeah, Hasegawa would do a pretty good 48 scale P51. Italeri reboxed it. The boxing that I built about 7 years ago fell off a shelf. But it came with 6 or 7 different markings for different squadrons, I think, in the Pacific Theater. But this one I'm building because this is the unit my grandfather served in World War II. He was a crew chief. So while this plane might not be his plane that he was assigned to, it is a plane that he most likely worked on, helping keep it flying. Tape. Where's my tape? Where'd I put it? There it is. If I wanted to make his plane, I would need to find a P47 Razorback and find another set of out-of-print decals. I found them once for my brother. He actually built that. But I know they're out there, and his name is legible on the decal sheet as the crew chief assigned to that plane. Using way more tape than I need to for this, but I just want to see if I can glue this all together in one shot and then handle all the seams at once. Yeah, that doesn't cause any trouble, so I might just glue the whole wing together. I just got to drill some holes first. Yeah. That way I can handle this seam as well at the same time. Yeah, we're not doing the rockets, we're just doing the drop tanks. This kit didn't come with the rockets anyway. Okay. I know it hasn't been exactly another hour yet, but I might have to get up and move around some after I get this glued together. Just because the knee's starting to lock up a little bit.
Almanac said it's all good. Almanac said, could hear on your breathing it was getting close faced with tears of joy emoji.
What, am I grunting too much? My microphone picking up a little too much here? Carbonator. And it's not like I'm sitting here going into the microphone, is it?
At Almanac said it becomes a bit labored when your knees hurt. 09G Davos said you did for a little bit there.
Oh, ha, ha. Alright. Yeah, let me move it around a little bit. I've already taken ibuprofen. It's been keeping it at bay. It's not as bad as it normally gets, but it's been getting worse. So, alright. Be back in a minute.
At Almanac said no, you're all good audio-wise. It's just one of those things. Once you've noticed it, you can't not hear it.
Alright, we're back. I was able to get it to snap, crackle, pop a few times. And I grabbed a snack while I was up.
At Almanac asks, snack is cereal?
Flavor blasted goldfish crackers. Even at the height of my military, I could not eat. No, that was my knee, yeah. Even at the height of my military career, I couldn't wolf down a bowl of cereal that fast, no. Snack, not snap. Alright, this is going to have some careful seam filling, I believe, because this should all be one panel, with that, and that being separate. Much researches will have to be done. We're pretty close to getting as far as I want to get today on it anyway. What's really sad, we're talking about the Black Widow. There isn't a single airworthy Black Widow right now. One's being restored, but it's still a long way off. But what do you all think? Try and do a rescribe on this, see if we can polish it up a little bit, maybe address some of the fit issues. Could be fun.
CSA Sniper 43 said the P61 I built was a 1981 printing.
This is a more modern one. I think just before Revell got bought out by Revell Germany. Well, it is the old monogram kit, too.
At Almanac said depends if you're looking for a turd polishing challenge.
I'm almost always looking for a turd polishing challenge. Plus, you can tell the mold's getting worn out. Look at how sharp the panel lines look here.
Sniper 43 said it was the 74 monogram kit.
But then look how they almost disappear here.
At Almanac said seems like there's potential for fit issues in the current build.
Oh yeah. Right along here, this causes one. If you can get your parts to line up really, really well, the fit issues aren't as bad, but it's getting those parts to line up. The one I had the most trouble with the last time I tried building this years and years and years ago was the glass not fitting right. It felt like it was too small, so you couldn't get it to sit level. But I can see if there's some other paint jobs, because would it be cool to see one in all black? Yeah. But what about the ones that were used in Europe? Olive drab and light gray. Just wasn't the Pacific Theater for those. What, would y'all be interested in seeing an attempt to build that?
At the model student 20 said, hey ho, just got home from model show. Feeling, word that rhyme.
I figured that's where you were. Didn't know if you'd be able to join us today or not. Find anything for your stash? Maybe once I move, I'll get back into more of the public modeling scene. And by that I mean, it seems like, it almost seems like an invariably Utah thing. It's needlessly competitive. It's very buddy-buddy. And it feels like it's more about look at my money, not at what I can do, so. And I want to get into I want to get back with another group that feels more like Okay, we're here to build models, not collect them and not throw money at them, you know? For lack of a better example.
At the model student 20 said yes, I looked for your car, couldn't find one. I stumbled upon a Hasagawa 135th Tadano rough TERRRAIN frame.
Is that the blue and white one with the outriggers and everything? I think I'm going to leave this off until I get this seam filled, because I don't want to risk sanding down any of the remaining detail there. If it'll let me take it off, good lord.
At Almanax asks what? You mean a hobby is not supposed to be one extended flexing session?
Not to me it isn't. And yes, I got the joke. It just feels like that's what it is here. Same thing with the car community here. And I'll just use this as an example. Back where I grew up, there was a car show every Tuesday night at a local mall. And you would see everything from everybody's fully restored, professional, painted, PPG coated, clear coat, color change, flip paint cars, right? But you'd also see the 20-something with a little bit of rust, with a few dents, but it was running, and you could tell he was putting the work, you know, he was doing it. Here, it's all fully restored, shiny, or completely tuned out ricer with popping exhaust, but there's nothing like my car or my friend's car where it's the work in progress. There's no work in progresses. There's no somebody showing that they're putting in the effort. And it gets exhausting when every interest here that you try and get into eventually devolves into that kind of mindset, and I'm just tired of it. So we're just looking for some more music to play. I mean, if it's like that where you guys are, let me know so I know I'm not the only one feeling it. But yeah, it's exactly that, Almanax. It feels like just a non-stop flexing session of, look what I bought today, and you don't have.
At Almanax asks, but how will I feel superior to everyone, because I'm not allowed to flaunt my affluence in the face of the peasant?
I don't know, go home and soak in your wife? Oh, wait, that's a local joke. That wasn't directed at you, it was just directed at the local thing. Yeah, don't look up the definition of what soaking is in Utah. I'm trying to assemble everything I can beforehand, but we're reaching the limits. And on the P61, the rescribing actually shouldn't be that difficult. Most of the raised lines are strong enough that as long as I'm able to remember which side of it I'm on, per the aircraft, I can rescribe them just following the line. And
Fortunately, it is not part of Japanese mentality, so I luckily steer clear of such attitudes.
see?
I almost humbly apologize for being well off.
Or you just don't show it, you know? No, I get that, and it's... You'd have to live here for a while to really get an idea for what I'm talking about.
At Almanac asks, I think it's just the influencer perfect life and wealth illusion dialed up to 11. No?
Worse than that. It's worse than that, and I can't describe how. It's beyond words. Imagine an entitled mindset so extreme that I'm going to use their freeway driving as an example. You are doing the speed limit. Actually, you're doing over the speed limit, getting ready to merge in, right? You're checking your left. You're checking your left. They will...
20 said sorry had to dash. Had an ICOMMING.
Okay.
What did I miss? Oh god, caps is locked on.
Nothing. We're just complaining about the local Utah mentality.
20 said, ooh, this sounds good.
So you're already doing... Let's say, just for for brevity, you're doing 80 merging into a 65. They will speed up to 90 to 100 to stay in front of you and not let you get in front while you're merging. They always have to be in front. And that's just driving. Go on YouTube and look up Utah crash compilations. I can guarantee you 75 to 80% of the crashes are all occurring at left turn lights because they don't know how to properly yield to oncoming and right turning traffic. Because of their entitled attitudes here. And that's your guys' homework tonight. Watch some Utah crash compilations on YouTube. And then tomorrow, when I stream tomorrow, tell me what you've learned. Or, yeah, describe to me what you've seen and what you've learned. Don't want to put this on yet because I want to get that scene taken care of. Unless... we call rush hour around here the Mormon 500. It's that much of a rat race. That's no lie. They've actually said it on the news and on the radio, so... Now I wonder how many are actually watching me, or if they're off on YouTube watching crash compilation videos. Well, like, people always say Americans are brash and rude and loud, you know. Now imagine the equivalent to the politeness in Japanese culture, but invert it to pettiness and entitlement instead of politeness. I should have waited to glue that on so I could thin down that upper edge there. I might be able to get a flat file in there once it's dry. But that's as far as I can take her right now. I want to let the glue set up, and then I'll take some thin Mr. Surfacer, put it around all the seams, highlight those, see what I gotta fix. And then if I have to get a bit stronger with the surfacer, I can. But I don't think I'll have to. It is Almanacs. And even where I work, just the sense of it that you get from just the everyday people, just... I've been to a lot of places, and I've never quite experienced something like that here, anywhere else. So yeah, that's where we are with that. But I'm thinking after stream for the afternoon after I mow my lawn and stuff like that. And I may hop back on tonight. I know I always say that, but I might tonight. I want to do a test on scribing the Black Widow, see how the plastic works for us, and see just, I don't know, start kind of putting things together for it. I said I don't build for contests, but maybe I should do that with this one. Just kind of look at it and all the aspects of it. And as I'm going along, see what I can fix. See what's out there cheap in the aftermarket community for, like, the cockpit or landing gear, stuff like that. It's not a terrible kit, but yeah, it might not be... It might not be a bad turd polish, you know? But we're gonna stop stream for now. It's been almost 3 hours. And not bad for having to repaint the cockpit. We're putting a pilot in it. So do I. But yeah, we'll come back. We might come back to this tomorrow. Might do Bradley's. We'll see how I feel. I also want to get the seams kind of layered up on this tonight, and we'll see how that comes out. And I need to see if... I don't think this is a natural seam. I think this is all supposed to be one panel. I want to research that before I fill, so I know which panel to fill, which panel to keep. Yeah, but that's where we are. 50% of a P51 assembled in just under 3 hours. And that's with brakes and screwing around with other things. So, thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and sub and all that wonderful stuff. And I will see you all tomorrow, possibly tonight. Just got a lot of other things to take care of around the house still. So, yeah. See you then. Take it easy.